So today I'm going to be talking about a few ways, 5 ways to be exact, that you can plan for the summer holidays if you are someone who stays at home, works at home with children, runs your own business, or actually if you're just any parent in general and you're just trying to find simple ways to go through the summer now that the kids are not at school. It can be, and for me, the summer or the thought of summer was a bit overwhelming. In my 20s or before I had kids, you know, summer was a bit of a wind down time, like when I was working in corporate, because I worked in corporate for 10 years. It was a time when the bosses, the managers were on holiday, work wasn't as heavy or like pressurizing, and you could kind of have a bit of ease into your work, and obviously you'd go on holiday. And then even when I think back to school, as a child with no responsibilities, like school summer holidays were, it was great, just, you know, just this long stretch of time ahead before autumn. But now as a parent, as a mum, and now as a mum that is at home predominantly, it can feel a bit overwhelming, and I'm really determined to like make this summer more easeful, more simple. The way that I'm trying to approach life in general is in a more simple way, and so I want to be able to apply that mindset to summer with my children. I'm trying to apply a few principles that are a bit more like from my childhood, thinking about like 90s summer. I don't know if you've seen that trend of like a 90s summer where you kind of like no technology and just like being bored and allowing ourselves to just do things that we used to do in childhood in the 90s. And I don't know if I'll go that far as like making a totally 90s summer, but definitely I'm getting some inspiration from there. So I'm going to share with you 5 ways that I'm going into summer and how I plan to keep it quite simple. So the first thing is that I want to craft daily anchors. What do I mean by crafting daily anchors? Basically, or introducing daily anchors. Right now in our house on Fridays, we have Friday film and pizza. So just every Friday we have pizza and we watch a film as a family. It's an idea that I kind of inherited actually from a friend that I saw do it, and I just thought it was a really great way of just having these like core memories that we're building, and just parts of the day that or parts of the week that allow for just not having to think about dinner, but also knowing that together as a family we know what we do on a Friday, and just taking the pressure off that day and just introducing and just easing into the weekend. And I thought to myself, how can I apply that to just certain days throughout the summer, and also make sure that we're doing different activities on certain days in the week throughout the summer. So for me, I'm going to be looking at how we can associate an activity with a day and still have days where just there's nothing planned. So for example, looking at Mondays, going to a park. We've got so many local parks in the area that I live. I'm in Kent, and Kent is known as the Garden of England. So, you know, we don't want for like country parks and things like that. And there's so many that we still need to explore as well. So parks on a Monday, swimming on a Tuesday, library on a Wednesday. Thursday is kind of catch up day, cleaning day. So that just helps us know what the key activity is for the day. The next thing is to keep regular rhythms. So obviously on a school day, kids have to wake up at a certain time, or my girls have to wake up at a certain time. I have to be up at a certain time. We get dressed, shower, get out of the house, breakfast, all of that stuff. And when it comes to summer holidays, sometimes you just kind of want to just unravel from those rhythms. But what I have found is that if we do that too much and too consistently, it doesn't help our days to flow very well. What I want to do is just keep regular rhythms as a family in terms of waking up at a certain time. Maybe it's not at like 7, maybe it's slightly later when we're on holiday, on school holidays, but just keeping that rhythm of waking up, having the shower, changing rather than just like lounging in pajamas most of the days. Not to say that there's not going to be days where we don't do that, but to just keep that so that we have momentum to our days. For me as well, what I found is certain rhythms that I have in the morning, allowing myself to have that still in the summer holidays. So I want to still try to wake up early. What I found really helpful for me in the last year or so is that if I can get up, journal, read my Bible, have some quiet time, and do a bit of exercise, like those 3 things, if I can do at least 2 of those 3 things before the children wake up, that is so helpful to start my day. And if I can keep that going and not just like have that completely like disappear out of my rhythm, I think it will help me, you know, as we go through summer, because it's it sounds like, oh, I'm trying to cope, and in a way I did feel like that. In a way I did feel like, gosh, I'm gonna have to like get through this, but it's, you know, I'm really trying to reframe, because it's such a blessing and an opportunity to be able in this season to be around just for my children in such a present way. And it can be busy, but it's also just like priceless, like, and I'm so looking forward to the memories we are going to have together. Another thing that I want to do this summer to keep things a bit simpler is just how we capture memories. So I don't know how I came across this. I think maybe it was on Substack, but somebody who had bought a Kodak camera and was using film to just like take pictures that summer, or this summer, I don't know, maybe she's doing it at the moment, but I was like, I love this. And just to see it's crazy though, it is crazy how much Kodak cameras are now at the moment. You know those disposable cameras that you used to take on your school trips and things like that, like was probably what, like a £5 or something. Now it is probably around £25 if you're lucky, like 25. I think I saw one about £17. But I want to get one of those. I want to get not a disposable one, probably I'll get a reusable one with film. If we can use that as a family, I want to be able to get that to capture pictures. And so I'm definitely going to get that this week, because I want us to have like memories that are quite tangible. What I'm finding with the phones is that it's nice and everything, but sometimes there's so many pictures there that you don't like have capacity to like go through it. And I remember as a child, or even now, like if I go to my parents' house and stuff, just flicking through albums and like having those memories just to look at and to remember. And I want something like that for my children. So I'm wondering, I want to get that camera, and my plan really is to just have them take pictures, and I still just like wait for them to be developed. I know, what a concept in 2025 to have to wait for things, but I just love the thought of us having a way of capturing our memories of summer in a different way. So there's something I'm trying out. I might update and let you know how that's getting on, but capturing memories in a new way is another thing that I'm trying to do. I guess the simplicity for that, it is simple because one, you have to be quite considered about what you're going to take pictures of, because you don't have like endless amounts of shots, and it will just be a nice compact way of tying all the memories from the 6 weeks in like a book or an album. So yeah. Okay, this one is what I've been telling a lot of people, that I am ready for this, but it is embracing boredom, allowing boredom to sit and settle, and for us and to not be worried about it, to not, like, boredom is not the enemy, and it's not anything to be chased away. And I'm seeing it little by little. I'm allowing it to kind of settle with my kids, like after school and the weekends when they express boredom. And then if I leave them long enough, I realise like summer's good for this as well. Like they'll go to the garden, they'll play a game, and then they're playing like they've made an imaginary world because somebody is the princess and somebody's the princess's mom, and now they go to princess school. Or, you know, I leave them and then they start writing. My daughter wrote a book the other day, just like progressively over a few days. I want to be able to allow the space to help them facilitate their boredom, really, and just see what comes out. I know that, like, out of sometimes that quiet, out of that boredom, creativity can thrive, and that is really important to me. You know, I'm not like a clown or an entertainer. It's not always my job to keep them entertained, and so I think that I'm embracing boredom, and in embracing boredom, it allows for just simplicity, because it gives them room to create and become and be and do, and I want to empower them with that kind of self-regulation and ability to just find things to do. So going to the library will help with that, and is helping at the moment, because they have books they haven't discovered and read that they can just pick up in the quiet moments. I try and play like music as well, just around the house. It just kind of helps with the environment. It just kind of fills up the space, and depending on what the song or the type of music we're playing, can be a nice accompaniment to their reading, the drawing as well. Just allowing boredom to be a part of. It's just, boredom is not anything to chase away. It's not anything to be concerned about. It's not a bad thing, basically, and I need to remind myself of that, to be honest. And the last way I'm looking at summer is creating breadth and a few special moments as well. So I'm keeping it simple, but we have a few trips planned. We'll be going to London for a few trips. We've got a camping trip planned, which we're really excited about, and but I'm also keen to like not overpack the schedule, because for me, for my husband, we need space to just have, just not be rushing around everywhere, and even the girls as well. I know they need to not be rushing around. There's nothing wrong with slowing down, and I think summer is like the perfect time to slow down, because when you empty yourself of the responsibilities and the things that kind of pull you left and right all the time, it gives you a moment to recognise what is actually important. Like, when things pick up again, what do we want to be doing with our time, and how do we want to be doing that as a family? Like, how do we want to be spending our time? And so creating that space, but allowing for a few key special moments, I think will help us keep summer simple. So those are a few ways that I am looking at keeping summer simple. If you have any tips, or there's any things I've suggested that you think you might pick up, then let me know in the comments. And I am really keen to just keep things as kind of minimal and intentional as possible. So I'm so keen to hear from you as well. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that you think you feel like I might be missing, or that could be helpful in simplifying the summer, and tell me how you're looking to simplify summer. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching.